So you're thinking about moving to the greater Boise, Idaho area, but you're not sure of what's going on in the local real estate markets. Well, I'm glad you're here. Well, welcome to Mikey's Monthly Market Updates for February of 2025. I'm Mike Peters with MPRE Boise, and in this video, we're going to dive into the latest insights and trends right here from the Treasure Valley real estate markets. So if you're looking to stay ahead of the curve and want to make the best informed decisions on buying, selling, or investing, stay tuned with us to the end of this video. You won't want to miss it. If you're starting your home search, I've got a better option for you than websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, and Trulia. Head over to www.mpre.homes and sign up for your personalized home search today. No spam, I promise. And if you're thinking about selling and want to know what your home is worth in today's market, click the Home Evaluation tab in the upper right-hand corner and get your instant estimate. For both, you most likely will hear from me, but I pride myself on being a non-pressure real estate agent. I simply would like to reach out to you, say hello, and see how it is I can help when you're ready. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bells so you never miss another update, and let's get started. Let's dive into that real estate data and start off with Ada County like we normally do. Currently, the median home sold price in Ada County sits at $538,000. This is a 1.48% increase from last month's median of $529,990. So we've seen some positive movement recently, but we're still down 0.37% as compared to January of 2022 when it was sitting at $540,000. Looking back further, Ada County is down 10.66% from the market peak late May, early June of 2022 when we saw the median hit $602,250. But this is where things get interesting. Since January of 2023, we were sitting at $487,495. Ada County has made a solid recovery, gaining 9.38%. And then since this year, so far, we've seen 4.27% increase since January, when the median was at $514,975. When we break this down further, Ada County market is still trending upward, though at a slower pace. Compared to last month, we've gone up by that 1.48%, but looking at the last 6 months, we've only increased by 0.56%. So the market correction that started in 2022 is still in play, but it is slowly recovering bit by bit. Let's talk about the inventory and buyer's demand. Inventory in Ada County is still heading downwards, sitting at 1,256 homes available for sale right now. In January, 489 homes sold, which gives us 2.56 months worth of inventory. This is a significant jump up from last month. But what about the buyer's demand? Wow, it's completely on the rise. As you can see by the pending homes in orange on this graph, demand has shot up, and the gap between inventory and demand is rapidly shrinking. If this continues, we might see them almost meeting and intermingling. So if you're a buyer or a seller, stick around to the end of this video where I'll explain how this affects you. Breaking it down further, existing homes are in short supply with 546 homes available. We saw 292 homes sell in the month of January, giving us 1.86 months worth of inventory. While that is slightly up from December's 1.43 months, the rise in pending sales shows a quick turnaround for buyers. Now, new construction inventory is down again, which is typical for winter months. Right now, there are 710 new construction homes available, with 197 selling in January. But once again, pending sales are up, indicating that demand is strong. So what does all this inventory movement mean for home values? Well, starting with existing homes, the median home sold price has risen to $524,950, a 0.94% increase since last month. But compared to the market correction in late May, early June of 2022, this is still down by 10.53%. Since January of 2023, though, there's been a 9.51% gain, and this year, existing homes have already gone up by 5.03%. For new construction, the median price has risen to $549,995, a 2.72% jump since last month. Still, though, it is down 6.61% as compared to January of 2022, and down by a whopping 20.29% from the peak in 2022. But since the bottom of the market correction in 2023, new construction homes have gained 10.01%. And since January of 2024, they're up by 3.63%. Now let's assess the health of the Ada County markets by looking at the days on market and cancels and expireds. In Ada County, the days on markets rose to 51 days this month. As expected in the slower winter months, we're seeing longer times for homes to sell. This trend may continue for a little while, but keep in mind, this is a seasonal shift. Looking back at 2023, we saw a big rise in the days on markets, and that's when prices started to drop. When the days on market are high, it signals that the seller's market is struggling. And when they're low, sellers have the advantage. Right now, it seems like the market is leveling out and prices could be stabilizing or growing at a standard pace. And looking back to 2019, it's basically what we have in Ada County. When it comes to the cancels and expired listings, those numbers have slowed, but cancellations are still relatively high. Sellers may be getting cold feet due to financial concerns or the holidays, and buyers could be pulling out due to high interest rates. So overall, the health of the real estate markets in Ada County are looking okay. Nothing super alarming seems to be showing by the data. Now let's move on. Canyon County, it's your turn. The median home sold price here also rose this month, now sitting at $425,000. This is a 3.76% increase from $409,000 that we had last month, and up 0.02% from January of 2022 when it was sitting at $424,900. But similar to Ada County, Canyon County is still down by 10.8% from the peak value in late May, early June of 2022, when the median was sitting at $476,500. And since the end of the market correction in January of 2023, Canyon County has gained 6.95%. This year alone being 5.88. We have been seeing some volatility in Canyon County's median home sold prices with a bit of a bounce in the last few months, but will this trend continue? Inventory in Canyon County is also on the decline, sitting at 901 homes available for sale, with 261 homes selling in January. We're sitting at 3.45 months worth of inventory. But look at the buyer's demand. It has surged here too. The pending sales line is showing a sharp rise, so we may see inventory and demand start to intermingle soon. Breaking this down by category, existing homes in Canyon County now have 378 homes available, with 129 selling in the month of January. This gives us 2.93 months worth of inventory, which is up from last month's 2.20. But again, demand is on the rise and it's affecting these numbers quickly. For new construction, inventory has increased to 523 homes available, with 132 selling in the month of January. But just like Ada County, buyers' demand has also significantly jumped. So the two lines are heading towards an intersection. In terms of values, existing homes have increased to $395,000. This is up 3.79% from last month and up 2.53% from the start of the year. But since January 2022, prices are up 1.26%, but still down 7.05% from the beginning of the market correction. However, since the market correction ended in 2023, existing homes have gained a whopping 14.17%. Wow. For new construction, the median price has risen to $451,249. This is up 2.60% from last month. Although down 17.80% from the peak late May, early June market correction, new construction is up from the market correction end, 10.05% to be exact. So new construction is seeing a nice recovery as well, especially this year, with a 10.25% increase since January of 2024. As for the health of the market in Canyon County, we are seeing the days on market rise to 59 days. As expected, the slow season is affecting these numbers, but we can expect this to lower as we move into spring. Cancellations and expireds are still higher than usual, but this is likely due to seasonal trends and higher mortgage interest rates, which have even led some buyers to back out. I expect this number to decline as we head into the spring market. So basically, to sum it up, for both Ada and Canyon County, we are showing signs of recovery, but we're still in a transitional phase. The days on market are rising, inventory is low, buyer's demand is up. So if you are a buyer or seller, I would say be prepared for a more competitive market now that we're entering more towards the beginning of spring. So you made it to the end of this video where we're now going to break all of this down and let you know the best strategies if you are a buyer, seller, or investor, or even a renter in the greater Boise, Idaho area. Awesome. If you like what you see so far, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to stay in tune with all the videos I come up with regarding the Boise housing markets right here on this channel. But let's go ahead, let's dive in, and buyers, let's start with you and see what the best strategies are. So it's no big secret that we're seeing some interesting trends in the housing market this month. While mortgage interest rates are high, buyers' demand has dramatically increased, which is surprising. This is most likely due to the declining home prices that naturally occur during the holiday season, as holiday buyers usually get the best results as prices seasonally lower. The rise in buyers' demand may also be occurring due to the newly installed administration, evident by the increase in the consumer confidence around the U.S. Due to this increase in the buyers' demand, it's almost at the point where we're starting to intermingle with the inventory levels that have been dropping. So, what does this mean for you as a buyer right now? As inventory continues to dip and buyers' demand gains steam, we can see home prices stabilize or even start rising again, especially like we're seeing in places like Ada County, which they currently are. But here's the thing. With inventory tightening and buyers' demand creeping up, your negotiation power as a buyer is starting to slip. The market's becoming more competitive, and that means you may not have some advantages that buyers did during Q4 of 2024. Now, there's still a lot of uncertainty in the Boise housing market, and while the rise in the buyers' demand is positive, mainly for sellers, it's also making things a bit more complex. There's a lot of speculation around unemployment rates and how the economy could react. We're seeing mortgage delinquencies rise, and while it's not as extreme as the '08 crisis, it's definitely something to keep our eye on. But the big difference this time around is that homeowners have equity in their property, so we're not expecting a flood of foreclosures, which is evident by the rate of new foreclosure filings around the U.S., which is on the decline. That said, if unemployment numbers spike, we could see a ripple effect throughout the national economy, which could impact the Boise housing market as well. If asset prices start to drop, expect more homes to hit the market, potentially increasing inventory. However, I don't think we're going to see the same massive inventory spike as we saw in 2007, if a recession were to occur. This will be much more moderate this time around. But why? It's because if we see a push for American independent energy, which is already occurring, and lower taxes, we could see inflation ease, and businesses might get the relief they need to stabilize. This could help reduce unemployment and in turn impact the housing markets positively. But we're still waiting to see how quickly these changes will come into play. So there's definitely some uncertainty as we look ahead to 2025. So what should buyers do now? Well, if you're ready to make a move, the time actually may be better now than you think. Yes, interest rates are high, but with, for now, less competition in the market, you still have more room to negotiate. Plus, some sellers, especially home builders, are offering concessions to help offset those higher mortgage interest rates, which could be a huge win for you. Now, should you buy an existing home or a new build? Well, new construction is taking the biggest hit in median home sold price since the market correction. And right now, some builders are still offering concessions to move their inventory. They have more of it. But before you rush off to the builder, let me give you a heads up. Builders agents represent the builder, not you. So you absolutely want to have your own independent agent representing you in your best interests. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. However, if you're thinking about buying an existing home, there are still opportunities out there. If you work with a smart agent, such as myself, you could still negotiate price and concessions. But here's the catch. Existing home sellers aren't always as transparent as builders are when it comes to offering concessions, or even a co-op offering towards the buyer's brokerage due to the NAR settlement. This covers your agent's fee. Some sellers may be resistant to offering anything at all. This means that you could be on the hook for the cost of your professional representation by your agent. And not only that, this can make it more challenging to get the deal you want, especially as the buyer's demand is starting to intermingle with the inventory. Regardless, though, of this news regarding existing homes, this is where working with an experienced agent like me comes into play. I know how to negotiate, find opportunities for concessions, and co-op offerings, all to ensure you're getting the best possible deal. So whether you are buying a new home or an existing one, having an experienced agent in your corner can make a world of difference. When working directly with a builder or seller, you might think you're saving money by skipping the agent. But trust me, you could end up missing out on key negotiations, price reductions, and concessions. Professional representation can really help you win. And that's exactly what I'm here for. So if you're ready to make a move or you're just trying to figure out your next steps in this market, reach out to me today. I'm here to help, whether you're moving across the country or just across town. Also, don't forget to check out www.mpre.homes to sign up for your personalized home search, and also grab your free relocation guide in the description below or via the QR code right over here to my left. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss my next video, where I'll always be discussing a new element that could affect the Boise housing markets. And trust me, you do not want to miss them. All right, sellers, it's your turn. Let's talk about where you stand in today's market. I know the last few months haven't been the easiest for sellers. High mortgage interest rates and really cooled off buyers' demand, and it may have felt like the market wasn't exactly working in your favor. But I'm here to tell you things are starting to shift, and the outlook is looking a lot better for sellers. And here's why. It's because buyers' demand and inventory are starting to balance out. In fact, the gap between supply and demand is narrowing. Again, right now, both buyers' demand and inventory is almost beginning to intermingle. This could mean price stability or even price increases in the near future. Some of them are already occurring, and that's really good news for you as a seller. Because as supply and demand come closer together, you may find yourself in a position where you have more power in the negotiation. Now, keep in mind, it's all about your competition, other sellers in the market. As we are seeing some sellers pull their listings due to the off-season, they may bring them back starting in the hot season in Q2 of 2025. So if you're ready to sell and others aren't quite there yet, this is your opportunity to stand out. But what should you be watching for economically? Well, it's unemployment. If unemployment were to rise, we could see an influx of financially motivated sellers, people who have to sell for financial reasons, and that can increase the competition, especially in some areas like ours. Also, look out for the sellers that just took their homes off the market during the holiday season. This also won't help, especially if they both hit at the same time. Granted, unemployment becomes a problem in the US. However, if you're selling because you need a lifestyle change like upgrading, downsizing, or relocating, you don't need to rush, especially if you got a mortgage with a 2 to 4% interest rate. Your mortgage is a huge asset in today's market. And trust me, banks would love to have you change up your rate. So unless you have to sell, holding on to that low mortgage interest rate is the smart move. Now let's go ahead and talk about the economy for a second. If unemployment rises or if we see a recession, it could cause buyers to pull back, and we could see the market slow down. But it's not going to be like a 2008. We are not seeing the same signs of a housing crisis like we did then. Inventory levels aren't as high, delinquency rates aren't where they were in 2008, and we're not seeing a rise in foreclosures. In fact, they're actually on the way down. So your property value most likely won't bomb like it did back then. There's one more thing to watch out for, though, and that's the stock market. The PE ratios for the major 3 indexes are high, which indicates a potential correction that's needed. If the market takes a hit, companies may reduce their workforce, which could lead to higher unemployment. But that's still a big if it happens, and we're not there yet. So why could now still be a great time to sell? Well, inventory is declining and buyers' demand is relatively strong. It's picking up steam. So if you're thinking about selling, now could be the ideal time to get top dollar before more competition comes back into play. We're starting to see price stabilization and gains, so we're not expecting the sharp drops that we saw in the past. And if the buyer's demand continues to increase, well, it speaks for itself. So if you're ready to sell, let's make sure your home is positioned to stand out. This means understanding the markets, knowing where your home fits in it, and making the smart decisions to maximize your sales price. If you're looking to sell in today's market, I'm here to guide you through this market and get you the best deal possible. Whether you're ready right now or just thinking ahead, I can provide you a free home evaluation and give you a clear picture of your options. So please visit my website at www.mpre.homes to get your personalized market evaluation. And if you'd like, we can schedule a call to discuss your next steps. It's all about providing no pressure consultations and ongoing market updates, so you'll always know what's going on in your local area. All right, and investors, it's your turn. And again, I'm sure the first thing that comes to mind is uncertainty. And you're absolutely right. There is uncertainty still there. And even more now that Trump is in the White House. Can he get the job done to stave off the misinformation bubble that I think currently exists, and in a quick manner? Or will the door to a possible recession or stock market correction or crash open? All good questions. One key positive thing that is already happening is the boost in U.S. consumer confidence. Hence why I think we are seeing the increase in buyers' demand like we're seeing right here in the Boise housing markets. He has also unleashed American independent energy, and tariffs have been effectively used to align other countries to U.S. ideals, like immigration. But here's the real question. What does all this mean for the real estate markets? Not here just in Boise, but across the U.S. American independent energy production, as well as increase in manufacturing jobs here within the U.S. due to the threat of targeted tariffs, could spark growth for businesses. They already have. This could stave off an unemployment crisis or recession. And while tariff policies could stir up inflation by raising the cost of imported goods, if permanently installed, they would be temporary. But so far, Trump has been using them as threats to benefit his policies, to get his way. And while the tariffs, when permanently installed, will raise the inflation in short term, these policies should also result in tax cuts for businesses and the American people, which would also be a win. But again, so far his international regulatory threats have supported economic growth like manufacturing, which has brought foreign companies into the U.S. This again could prevent a severe recession. And the thing is, there is only more to come. We'll just have to wait and see what his administration has in store. Look at all the good things Doge is doing. Regardless of all this good news for the American economy, the real question is whether the stock market will correct or experience another crash. This is something his policies can only influence. Trump does not have direct control over the stock markets, much like he doesn't have direct control over the Fed, and the Fed has already turned him down. Now, history shows us, though, that the stock market has weathered corrections before, like in 1987, 1998, 2000, 2020, and even in 2008. And some of those recoveries took longer than others. But real estate has always proven to be a solid investment during these cycles. But why is real estate a great investment in times like these? It's because real estate is a tangible asset with intrinsic value that can provide stability compared to the volatility of stocks. And here's why. Well, first, rental income. Owning investment properties allows you to generate steady rental income, which provides financial stability. Second, appreciation. Historically, real estate appreciates over the long term and is a great hedge against inflation. Third, tax benefits. Real estate offers several tax deductions and incentives. And fourth, diversification. It's a way to diversify your portfolio away from the overall risk of the stock market, especially if it's shaky or you feel that something's wrong with it. And lastly, demand. People always need housing, even in recessionary times. Now, the only real drawback would be if unemployment spikes to astronomical levels, but I personally do not anticipate that happening. In the unlikely event unemployment rises dramatically, we could see institutional investors swoop in, much like they did back in 2009. However, there are currently far fewer subprime mortgages in circulation, and homeowners have equity today, much like they didn't have back then. Even with some market turbulence, real estate can still offer solid returns. So what's going on in the Boise real estate markets right now? Is investing a good option here? In the Treasure Valley, for example, we are seeing 9.38% growth in equity since the beginning of 2023 in Ada County and 6.95% growth in Canyon County. So if you're looking to park your money and mitigate some of the risk associated with a potential stock market correction, real estate may be a great option, especially if you're in it for the long term and can generate residual income. If you'd like to know more about potential investment properties or capitalization rates in our market, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to discuss how real estate could be a stable investment for your portfolio during these uncertain times. Let's talk soon. All right, and renters, it's your turn. And as I always say, you are paying 100% mortgage interest rate because you are paying your landlord for their equity build. So if you find yourself in the position that you want to buy, then starting to research markets right now is a good thing. So I'll go ahead and tell you to go ahead and revert back to the buyer section of this video and learn your best strategies if you're looking to buy in today's market. And of course, if you are looking for an awesome loan officer right here in the Treasure Valley real estate markets, feel free to reach out to me. I got more than enough around the Treasure Valley that will definitely help you reach your goals. Let's start setting the foundation today. So feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to being of help when you're ready. All right, well, thank you again very much, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to watch usually these incredibly long videos. And of course, if you have any further questions or you are looking to buy, sell, or invest right here in the greater Boise, Idaho real estate markets, feel free to reach out to me. Also, if you are looking to begin your home search in more real time than websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, or Trulia, please visit my website at www.mpre.homes and type in your personalized home search today. And if you are looking to sell and want an idea of what your home is worth in today's market, please also visit my website, look in the upper right-hand corner, click on the Home Evaluation tab, and go ahead and type in your address. Now, in both scenarios, you most likely will hear from me, but I do pride myself on being a non-pressure real estate agent. I'd simply like to just give you a call and see how it is I can be of service when you're ready. But before you go, if you like the information that you see, click that subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so that you're constantly in tune with all the information that I do come up with right here in this channel. And before you go, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Please, helps out the algorithm. And also feel free to share this with somebody you know who may find it valuable. Well, thank you again very much, everybody. I look forward to the day that we speak. God bless. And I look forward to the day that I call you my neighbor.